cards they already have in their wallets, and some credit card companies could be stingier with credit limits next year.
Today, for example, a consumer might get a little bit lower credit line than they would have maybe 2 years ago, on the average. And that's just, again, it's a way for card issuers to really help manage that exposure.
But not because TransUnion expects delinquencies to rise. In fact, delinquencies are still low.
More consumers have access to credit. They're using that credit, but they're actually performing really well on that credit.
Almost thinks they'll probably keep doing well next year, assuming job and wage trends continue. The housing market has been steadily slowing in 2018. Back to Phil Hewlett now with what might happen with real estate in 2019.
There are several pressures on the real estate market that portend a slowdown. Among them, rising mortgage rates, a series of year-over-year home price increases of 5% or more, but wage increases in the 2% range. That sounds like trouble. Again, here's Bankrate's Mark Hammer.
You cannot have rising home prices and rising mortgage rates that continue forever if you don't have rising incomes. And so that, along with the tax changes that limited the deductibility of state and local taxes, including property taxes, all of that has served to slow down some of the previously red-hot markets. Some people will welcome that as a buyer's opportunity. I understand that, but we need for housing to provide a literal foundation for the broader U.S. economy, as the financial crisis and Great Recession demonstrated a decade ago.
Those are some scary memories. The kind that would make the average home buyer or seller a little, well, okay, a lot skittish about the near-term market. But is the bubble about to pop?
I would not say that housing is a crisis, but it is slowing, and we'll continue to watch that in 2019.
Sounds like there may be a bump in the road ahead. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. Over the long term, stocks have also gone up, but what about the short term?
Until we get some more certainty in the areas of the trade discussion and the interest rates specifically, that volatility is going to continue to be the norm until those things are settled.
Personal wealth manager Dan Matthews with Creative Planning says, except for adjusting your asset allocations, stick with your long-term plan. Don't let daily market gyrations dictate. Advice for this year, next year, and every year. Mike, thanks, Joe. With all that money you'll be saving, just big decisions to make. How will you spend it? And what will be the best ways for you and your family to benefit from what the high-tech world has to offer with the latest technology, entertainment, and what your home can do for you? That's all ahead on Moving Forward, the 2019 agenda from NBC News Radio. The iHeartRadio Podcast Award, presented by Capital One, where podcasters will finally get the recognition they deserve over 20 categories like crime, comedy, music, sports, curiosity, and more. Cast your vote, and you're automatically qualified to join us in person for the first ever iHeartRadio Podcast Award. Vote now at iHeartPodcastAwards.com. Brought to you by Capital One. We're on a mission to bring great products, rewards, and service to our customers. What's in your wallet?
President Trump taking aim at Democrats on Twitter this morning as the partial shutdown triggered by the fight over border wall funding continues. He says, quote, the Democrats, much as I suspected, have allocated no money for a new wall. President responding to new proposals from Democrats that they want to vote on later this week. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo meeting with Israel's prime minister today and reassuring him about the president's decision to pull American troops out of Syria.
The decision the president made on Syria in no way changes anything that this administration is working on alongside Israel.
On this New Year's Day, it's a smoggy mess in one of the Houston areas. It's a beautiful, bright day, but yet it's like London town. It's very foggy here, but it's a different kind of fog. Kathy French lives there. It's a combination of normal fog and the smoke still lingering after the New Year's Eve fireworks. One person's under arrest in the British city of Manchester after a stabbing attack, now being investigated as a terrorist incident. Michelle Franson, ABC News.
I'm WLQI meteorologist Suzanne Horgan. It looks to be a cloudy start to the new year with a little bit of patchy drizzle. Temperatures holding steady or even falling a bit. We will be in the 40s on this Tuesday. Overnight, we're going to drop down to 35 degrees. For tomorrow, highs around 42 degrees. And as we make our way into your Thursday, in the mid-40s once again. I'm WLQI meteorologist Suzanne Horgan.
This is a Morgan & Morgan consumer message.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Some lawyers take the last offer on your case for many reasons. That could mean way less money than you deserve. Most settlements start with the insurance company offering less. The Problem is, some lawyers need the money even more than you do, so they just take it and tell you that that's the most you can get, not us. We try more cases than any other personal injury firm in the country, and the insurance industry knows it. Visit forthepeople.com and download our free verdicts magazine. For 30 years, we've helped hundreds of thousands recover what they deserve. Bullies only understand brute force. Every day, we drag their asses, kicking and screaming through courtrooms throughout America. If you're injured and need someone to fight for you, call us. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone. Pound 529. Pound Law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Office is Louisville.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America invites you to take steps for cures at a walk event near you. Support the 1.6 million Americans living with these diseases. Get started at cctakesteps.org.
Cleveland here for my friends at TFS, the foundation specialists, reminding you to keep an eye on your home for foundation problems. They don't get better with time, so if you see cracks in your brick or block or concrete, call TFS today. Need your concrete lifted and leveled? They can do that. TFS is also the industry leader in crawl space repair, so if you're experiencing sagging floors, cracks in drywall, or wet smelly crawl spaces, call TFS today for your inspection. They're A+ rated with the BBB. Call 502-632-7762 or go to TFSKentuckiana.com. TFS, the foundation specialist.
Hi, this is Mike Ditka. You might know me as the Coach. Having issues with your muscles and joints, take it from the Coach. Use True Emu. Don't overthink it. Just use it. True Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
Available at nationwide retailers.
Broadcasting live 24/7 from the John Howard Plumbing, Heating and Air studios. This is News Radio 840 WHAS. This is Moving Forward, the 2019 agenda from NBC News Radio. Once again, here's Mike Bauer.
Sure. We all kind of thought that, by 2019 we'd have hoverboards and jetpacks and flying cars like the Jetsons. Maybe that's just me, but to be honest, I think we're getting closer. Our homes can begin working for us, and our cars and trucks, well, they're almost there too. So it's time to figure out what it is you need to be aware of if you're trying to keep up with the new way your home, office, or car can be run. Here's correspondent Al Lewis with how your stuff will help you in 2019.
Michael, you simply can't avoid it. Technology is everywhere, and it's getting better and better by the day. Our homes will be smarter in 2019, with computers controlling lights and temperature. Our cars will be smarter in 2019, with lots of plans for them to even drive themselves. And new smartphones are smarter and faster than ever. They're able to store more music, movies, and more in the cloud, so you can access your library anywhere. But behind the bigger, sharper, and even more durable screens, the latest devices are more powerful than ever, at times even thinking for themselves. Connor Shreve has a deeper look at some of this deeper learning.
If there's a tech trend that dominated the storyline of 2018, it's machine learning, known in the tech industry as deep learning.
We have a whole lot of, for example, facial recognition. Many of the major sites do a really good job of recognizing faces and those sorts of things. We've got, audio recognition, etc.
That's computer science professor Steve Beatty at MSU Denver, who says that technology is modeled after the human brain, which brings with it plenty of questions about computer consciousness.
So if you look between our ears, we have approximately 1 billion neurons with 1 trillion connections. Now, we certainly have the capability right now to do, 1 billion transistors that could easily model each individual neuron. What we don't have is essentially the wiring between them. We don't have for every single, if you do the math, essentially every single transistor would have to be connected to 1,000 other ones.
But it doesn't come without its dilemmas.
They track us when we go into, the various different stores. They track our license plates when we're out in public driving around. So all of that is essentially already in place, and so I think there are some moral and ethical questions.
And it's something we as consumers should be aware of, as we're also more and more likely to help teach
Crowdsourcing is going to continue to be a very big deal, and the machines will learn from that. You know, restaurant reviews. If you liked this restaurant, you might well like that restaurant.
And in the year ahead, that technology may shift from consumer products to education.
So Amazon has essentially made their machine learning course, which is a fairly substantial course, free to anybody who wants to use it, but they have their own also learning algorithms that don't require any kind of computer science background.
And as it becomes more accessible, 2019 could bring us closer to having an answer to the question of whether that technology helps or hinders our collective consciousness. I'm Connor Shreve. Now back to